This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
New stream, who dis?
That was good.
Thank you. We're the Meltdown. This is part 2 of today's stream. So if you're watching this one first because it's been recommended to you, go check out part 1. You'll have a fun time, we promise. And then we'll be right here for part 2. Just save us. Just bookmark us. Save us for later. Watch later. And we'll be right here with you. So we appreciate you being with us here in the part 2 section of today. Tyler, just show the damn thing. Just show it. Okay? We got to expose this thing for what it is. This monkey.
See this guy? See this guy? I'm going to take him out right now.
Are you?
Oh.
What are you going to do?
Dust that just kicked up.
Don't break anything.
Well, what if I just throw him that way?
Just don't dent the wall or the floor.
Okay.
I mean, I don't trust the monkey's not going to hurt us further by trying to launch it.
What if it explodes backwards into us?
What if we auction it off?
Who's going to buy this thing?
It's
Meltdown
cursed,
lore.
but somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy that thing.
Anybody want it?
We're opening up the bid at $10. The bid starts at $10. Let us know if you want a piece of Meltdown history that will curse you and your family for generations. Let us know.
Yeah.
Jeff has the best chat of the day. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Yeah, that's the very PG version of that.
That's the TBS version of snakes on a plane.
Right. Okay. Tyler, best that you how about just put it on the ground and just scoot it out the studio. Okay. So that way you don't dent. If you, God, you did the exact opposite. Oh my God.
He landed on his face.
Oh, God.
Did that seem like a scoot to you, EG?
No, that was a launch.
That was a launch.
Yeah.
That was an aggressive launch.
Yeah. It was aggressive and like, I didn't want to like completely yeet it into the wall, but
I'm glad it's out of here. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to reset real quick because it's a perfect time. We're on the Meltdown countdown, and we are going through the 5.
Do we have a hammer?
Let's not. Tyler, you're going to hurt yourself.
I'm taking out this monkey. I'm tired of him taking out our stream.
I know. This would not be a good idea, though, to hurt yourself on camera.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's talk about John Wick. I've asked you, with the 5 films that are in the franchise, you having seen all 5, to rank them from worst to best. At number 5, you had Ballerina, which we had a full discussion on here in part 1 of the stream. Where are we going for number 4 as you work your way up to greater content?
Alrighty. Number 4. Going with John Wick 2. And the reason for this is not because it's a bad movie or anything, but in the grand scheme of things, it feels a little bit more forgettable than any of the other parts in the main John Wick saga. I like Peter Stormare at the beginning. Love Peter Stormare. Got to shout him out every time he's on the screen. But I wasn't that crazy about the whole thing with Santino and the marker. I like that it drip feeds the lore, but the big bad wasn't as big and as bad as I wanted it.
I agree, but that big bad in that movie is the thing that makes him break the rules of the Continental.
Yes.
Which launches us into a whole different stratosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, while the character sucked, I agree, overall of villainous characters within the series, like, that's what broke him to where he was like, this is worth becoming the most wanted man by the high table. And he certainly did something shocking there that ended up leading him to being excommunicado.
Yeah.
Which I love saying.
Yeah, it's such a cool word.
And the way, is it Ian McShane?
Yeah.
The way he says it.
Excommunicado.
Gosh, man. I want to pull up to a Taco Bell and say that and see what they put in the bag.
Taco Bell sounds really good right now.
Does it? Mm-hmm. Excommunicado. I know that, Tyler, you're not big on Taco Bell. But anyway.
I'd double tap that burrito like I was John Wick.
I hear you. I like that. There's that glass sequence action shootout. That looks pretty awesome.
That looks sick.
I mean, it really is cool. But I agree. I completely agree so far with your list, considering I haven't seen Ballerina, and John Wick 2, I think, is at the bottom of the other four. So we are on pace right now, but let's continue on. Let's move on to number 3.
Moving on. Number 3, Part 3, John Wick 3, Parabellum. I really like the betrayal at the end of this movie, and I love how much of a role that Lawrence Fishburne gets to play as the Bowery King. Mm-hmm. He gets introduced in Part 2, but he really gets to actually make some moves in Parabellum. You've got the sequence with Halle Berry and her attack Belgian Malinois.
I thought that was awesome.
That was awesome. Yes. She'd sick them on people, and they'd take out anyone.
Do either of you know what Parabellum means?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what Parabellum means?
Cerebellum, but not Parabellum.
Okay, go Tyler.
So Parabellum is a type of 9mm round. It's the shorter 9mm round. Pistols typically shoot 9mm Luger, and if you've got like a pistol caliber carbine, like a SIG MPX or something along those lines, CZ Scorpion, it'll shoot usually 9mm Parabellum.
I've also heard, because I have a different explanation, that Parabellum is Latin for prepare for war.
Ooh, I love that. That's
now,
nice.
If that ends up not being true, I'm going to look like a complete
No,
demise.
it's true in the Meltdown room. That's all.
I hope it's true. You got to say things confidently, right? And just like stick with it. Yeah. But I thought Parabellum was Latin for prepare for war, which is probably why the
Parabellum is Latin. It is the second half of a Latin phrase. Sivi pacem parabellum. It's basically, if you want peace, then prepare for war.
Ooh, love.
Thank you, Tyler.
That's like a good,
Thank you.
good life motto.
See, when I say I like a well-done steak, I Parabellum. Prepare for war. Because nobody else likes that I say that. I don't even know why they offer it if it's such an outlandish thing to do.
Oh.
Like, people get so angry at me over that.
I mean, I do.
I liked you. You were the chosen one.
Because there's some people who like to go into a restaurant and pay for an expensive steak.
I know, and then I ruin it.
Just say, you know what, burn it and bring me some of that
done, baby.
Heinz ketchup, some of the finest tomato ketchup you got.
Gross.
Love it. Okay.
At least go Heinz 57. Treat yourself.
I like Heinz 57. I saw John Wick 3 Parabellum at the beach, and it was one of my favorite movies of that year, and I had the best time. I love beach movies. I love watching movies at the beach. It is my favorite thing to do. And I've very rarely ever seen a movie at the beach that's cheeks. Quantum of Solace was one of those that I was like, ooh, that wasn't great, but I still am a big James Bond fan. So Parabellum was fantastic. There's sword play in this movie that's very interesting and very good towards the end. The set design, I think visually, there's a huge jump between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yes.
Like
I think
3, you see just the money on the screen.
Yeah. 1 and 2, I think, established that kind of style that the franchise was going to be. You see a little bit of that with, like, the Russian nightclub scene in John Wick 1, and then some other scenes in Part 2. But then 3, it's like, all right, we're going full neon, colors just fully saturated everywhere, and it's awesome. It looks beautiful.
This is also when you see introduced in John Wick 3 sort of his backstory of how he was raised and brought in, and that's really... I think that probably, and I haven't seen Ballerina, but I would think John Wick 3 is the most important thing to watch before Ballerina, right?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
This is a direct sequel to John Wick 3.
Yeah, without spoiling anything, you see the moment in John Wick 3 where John goes to the Ruska Roma.
Okay.
And gets kicked out.
Ruska Roma, that's also a fun term to say.
Yeah.
I want to say that at a Tony Roma's, and I don't know why. I have all these things I want to say at these restaurants just to see what they end up bringing me.
Yeah.
Ichi's like, you're crazy.
John Wick 3, also where you find out John Wick's real name. Hardani Jovanovich.
Right.
Jovanovich.
Said by the lady with the
director.
The director, yes.
Yeah.
Who... Her poor hands. That's all I can say. But that's a whole different situation there.
They look beat in Ballerina.
Is it the adjudicator that's looking for.
Oh yeah, the
John Wick.
Yeah,
in
the
this movie?
adjudicator is she works for the High Court, and
She's a badass.
she like shows up to the Continental and enforces the rules.
Yeah.
It's
love
great
the,
character.
I love the way John Wick 3 ends as well.
Yes, fantastic. With Winston betraying John Wick, shooting him off the building, and John has to go and recover with the Bowery King.
And he's
Then
like,
the
let's go after the high table, my
Yeah.
friend.
But then the adjudicator's just like, where'd he go? Looks over
Exactly.
the edge of the building. It's like, he's gone. What do you mean he's gone?
Halloween 1978, my friend.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Was that the
Basically.
boogeyman? No. It was the Baba Yaga. Kind of
Pretty
works.
much. Yeah, it works.
Because that means boogeyman anyway. So anyway. Okay. That's good stuff. I love John Wick 3.
It's great.
It's definitely... It may be my favorite. I'm just going to say John Wick 3 may be my favorite. I love that movie. I really do. Okay, let's move on now. I believe we are at the number 2 spot. That is correct. Thank you, E.G.
Welcome.
Number 2. The second most emotional film in the John Wick franchise. And that's John Wick 4. This one, I think, is the biggest and has the most spectacle, out of the mainline John Wick saga. And you definitely see where the money is on screen. Like you were saying with the last entry, John Wick 3, you've got crazy fights in the middle of traffic. You've got these epic sword fights with Donnie Yen. Love getting to see Donnie Yen on screen. I believe they're making a Kane spinoff centered around his character. You got Hiroyuki Sanada from Shogun and Mortal Kombat showing up as the manager of the Continental Osaka.
He's awesome.
He's great. And you got Lawrence Fishburne returning once again as the Bowery King. He is such a great character. He shows up in, he gives John a new suit and says, man's got to look his best when he's getting married or buried.
So I have a question for you and Mrs. Kathy. My question is this. Here's my question. My question is,
Name kids next door. Mrs. Kathy.
as a Matrix fan, which you are, Tyler,
Yeah.
it's got to be great seeing those two on screen together, right? I mean, it's
Absolutely.
like it just hits those veins.
Absolutely. And especially when the most recent Matrix movie, Resurrections,
No, I don't think is that right?
I don't know. There was Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions,
Oh,
and then
okay.
was the fourth one Resurrection?
That sounds right.
Why not?
I hate this franchise, really.
Anyway, the one that didn't have Lawrence Fishburne,
Yeah.
but they still brought like a younger Morpheus into the mix. I don't know. I actually didn't see that one. But I felt cheated seeing the trailer and being like, yo, that's not Morpheus.
I mean,
So
is there
get to see it
anyone?
this way.
Is there anyone on the planet that really believes the Matrix is a stronger franchise than John Wick?
There shouldn't be, because The Matrix has one good movie.
Right, the first one that has the ingredients of what John Wick ends up, capitalizing on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Matrix, the best thing about the Matrix is that John Wick came from it, in my opinion. Like the John
Yeah.
Wick franchise coming from the bones of that is very special. So I hate to just do a drive-by here on the Matrix, but I really do think it's one of the most overrated movies / franchises of all time. But we won't get into that whole thing.
Franchises, yes. I think it's a great movie, though.
Yeah. But it's great seeing those together, and you get a heavy dose of that. But John Wick 4, maybe, a really great villain performance here from Skarsgård.
Yes, from Bill Skarsgård.
Not just him, but like tons of rogues throughout. There's a poker sequence, EG, in John Wick Chapter 4, and I watched it right before I went to a Russian's house to play poker. It was
Yeah, that's Russian.
a poker. I played in a poker game in town, hosted by someone who's Russian, and I had not gone before. And I'm watching this movie because I normally go to the movies before my poker games at night. And I'm watching this movie, and there's this like really intimidating Russian poker sequence, and I was like, "What am I getting myself into?"
Interesting.
But the in-person experience wasn't nearly as intimidating as what we saw there in John Wick Chapter 4. So,
I need to watch that.
but I think we can get into the end results of John Wick Chapter 4, right? John Wick.
Yep. It's
Gone.
the time you got to say goodbye. And
But we got John Wick 5 coming out.
so, okay.
Talk to
I
me.
actually have a little bit of tid about that today.
Give me some tiddly bits.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you a little tid.
Here we go.
Keanu Reeves says he hasn't signed on for John Wick 5.
Maybe it's just like.
Yeah,
done.
exactly. Lionsgate's already announced it. The lion cheating.
The Lion Gate. Get it?
Yeah.
I like it. That's really good, EG.
Thank you.
Lionsgate's come out recently and said that they're going to start really pumping in the AI into
Yes.
their production.
They've
And
also said that to use it for like creating PG-13 cuts of R-rated movies and making anime versions of different movies.
but think of it as a good thing. We wouldn't be able to make anything if we didn't have AI. We wouldn't be able to make all these things we want to make. And it's like, you guys should really focus on making quality stuff because Lionsgate over the past year has been on fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
in a
been
negative way.
Stinker after stinker
Yeah,
after
it's been a
stinker
Dumpster
after
fire.
stinker.
Yeah.
Just movie nobody wants to go see, and then another movie that the critics absolutely skewer, and then another movie that nobody wants to go see, and the critics skewer. They can't catch a single break.
We got the Crow remake, which was really awful.
Woo.
We got Borderlands. We got, just Lionsgate,
Megaflopolis.
Megaflopolis. We got a bunch of stuff that really tanked Lionsgate. And, now they want to use AI to cut their budgets. That's basically it. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. It's about how much can we push out. And will audiences care? We'll see. I'll tell you, the number one reaction I saw was the little angry emoji on every one of them. Will that matter long term when everybody starts using AI to produce stuff? I don't know. But in the meantime here, that's the direction they're going, and I think they're losing a little fanfare there. But John Wick 4, fantastic, really good, very long fight sequence.
Oh, yes.
It reminded me of Surf Ninjas with the stairs, where he kept falling down the stairs.
Gosh.
That happens to Leslie Nielsen in Surf Ninjas, which is a guilty pleasure movie of mine, where he's the bad guy, and he climbs all these stairs, and he gets pushed down again, and he has to, get back up there. But anyway, I'd love to hear that was a callback, but I don't think they ever will say that was a callback.
I don't think they will.
Point Break, a surfing movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you ready to move on to number one? There's only one movie left. I think everybody knows where you're going.
It's the OG. This, I think, stands alone as its own movie because it's the first one. It had to start off with. But I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I think the reveal, the slow drip of lore you get about John Wick is just absolutely fantastic, and you truly do feel throughout these movies that Keanu Reeves' character is the boogeyman, because he will just show up and take out everyone without saying a single word, just operating on pure instinct. And I love, I can't remember who plays the big bad in this movie.
The big bad or the annoyingly Game of Thrones?
Not Theon Greyjoy.
Okay, not
Theon Greyjoy's dad. Where it's great towards the beginning where Big Bad finds out and he goes, "You know whose car you just stole? Do you know whose dog you just killed?"
The character's name is Viggo Tarasov.
Yes, Viggo.
And I don't know who plays him, but that's the bad guy. So,
Let's see. Well, Michael Nyquist. Nyquist. It's Nyqvist. I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
What
But
he
anyway,
does,
I'll call
though-
him Vigo. He's great. He gives this little speech to his son, who is acting like the pompous little mafia brat that he is, and decides, I'm going to steal John Wick's Mustang and kill his dog. And once Vigo finds out about this, he says, "Do you know what you just did?" And he gives a speech saying that there's nothing that anyone can do to help little Theon Greyjoy. John Wick will hunt him down and kill him, and that's just the end of it. There's nothing anyone can do. And he punches Theon right in the mouth.
And you know what? The whole entire audience, as soon as the dog was killed,
yes.
John Wick, do what you got to do. It's that simple. Like I would love to hear what test audiences wrote. Is like their reaction. Like one of the questions I'm sure is the movie too violent? It's like after the dog incident, no,
Yeah, no.
it needed to be more violent.
Whatever happens, they deserve.
Yeah. I mean, you want to find a way to get 99.8% of the audience rooting for you to do despicable acts of harm against other humans,
Cheering.
cheering it on.
Yeah.
All you got to do is watch the first couple of minutes of John Wick, and that's how you basically get it, a license to kill legitimately from the audience to do whatever you got to do. John Wick, make it happen.
Full support.
Yep.
Just to give you an idea of how hard this emotional hook hits, even outside of this room, my gran, she's a big John Wick fan.
Nice.
She loves the first movie, and her reaction to the first movie is, can't do that to somebody's dog.
Yep.
That's how.
Can't do it.
My sweet Southern grandma is just like, yep, kill them all.
Exactly.
Agreed.
That's a perfect example of someone who's chosen that, do what you got to do. And that's exactly what happens throughout the franchise there. So you're
Plus,
going.
you get Willem Dafoe in the
do?
mix.
You do?
He's fantastic in everything. Just brings like this the gold standard of excellency.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, John Leguizamo as Aurelio runs the chop shop. Great performance there as well. Sweet car in this movie, and great scene at the end where John Wick's stitching himself up at what looks to be a closed veterinary hospital, and he sees a pit bull just sitting there in its crate alone. He goes, you know what? Let me open this up. Come on, let's go home.
John Wick may be the most consistent film franchise of all time, up at least until Ballerina, because now I'm very concerned. But like, John Wick 2 made John Wick 1 better.
Oh, yes. Yes.
John Wick 3 made John Wick 2 and John Wick 1 better.
Yes.
It rarely happens.
John Wick 4 made John Wick
Ties
3,
it all together.
John Wick 2, and John Wick 1 all better. Whenever you can have a franchise that when you add another one, it makes the other ones better, like you have a masterful franchise. Mm-hmm. From what I'm hearing from you, Ballerina does not enhance the other John Wick movies. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Not really. I think some of the lore and some of the elements it introduces is cool, but there just didn't feel to be any mystery to it. And on top of that, you're missing the emotional hook that was there with the John Wick saga. And on top of that, the action sequences just take me out of it. There's you'll see it in a few hours, but there's some goofiness with a grenade I really want your opinion on.
Yeah.
Just anytime you see a hand grenade on screen, just take a mental note, because I want to hear a full report tomorrow.
Okay. I'll give you full hand grenade reaction when we do our non-spoiler review tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Well, there we go.
Quick chat check-in. Nick says, I have not seen any of the John Wicks, but I always thought that he did all of this because someone killed his dog was kind of a joke. No, that's how the first movie starts off. He's a hitman who's gotten out of the life. He got married, and his wife passes away of cancer.
So sad.
And that was his wife's last gift to John, was this dog that is on his doorstep, and it comes with a note that says, maybe you can learn how to love something again. That's not a car.
Gosh, Tyler.
And it's his wife's final parting gift to him. So there's a lot more tied up to it than it being, don't want to say just a dog, but it being a dog. But it's great.
Am I correct? Lance does not really like the John Wick movies.
I thought Lance loves them.
Lance does?
He was looking at going to Ballerina tonight, and he was.
Is it Jim that doesn't? One of them does not like the John Wick movies. I don't know who it. Maybe it was Brown.
Probably Brown. Brown's probably never seen them. I don't think Jim has either.
I feel like one of those guys. I still, for some reason, I was under the impression that Lance really did not think John Wick was that great or that special.
He loves it. He was recommending the John Wick documentary that released on like premium video on demand.
Maybe it's Jim. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
We'll have to see. I'm making this worse. I mean, it's a multiple choice, and I'm getting it wrong every time. So there we go. Look, John Wick knocks out a lot of goons. My dentist, they knock out plaque. That's what they do over at Alabama Dental Associates. They're the best. They're the John Wick of knocking out plaque. Like if you've had a cavity in your life,
standard.
John Wick had a canine in his life. You may have a cavity in your life, and you need to get that taken care of. And we're going to make that happen. Over at Alabama Dental Associates, they provide all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health. You don't need something like a gold coin to go visit Alabama Dental Associates. You just need an appointment. And there's a way that you can make an appointment. And I have the number for you. 205-956-8977. That's the number to call to reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They're accepting new patients now. I'm a patient there. You can be a patient there too. You can be like, is this truly where Tim Melton comes to
frolic,
praise dentistry? And they'd be like, yes, this is the place. He's actually sat in this chair. And they'll bring you to that chair, and you can be close to me by being an Alabama Dental Associate patient. They're at Alabama Dental, located on Grants Mill Road. You can find them online as well, alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. It's now time for some 10 with Tim. We appreciate the Meltdown Countdown today. We appreciate all those who are making your opinions known in the chat. Feel free to continue to weigh in because I have 10 questions. We got about, 10 or so minutes.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make it happen. You guys know how to play this game.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. E.g., what's your go-to order at a Mexican restaurant that you've never been to before?
2 tacos, chicken, corn tortilla, hot sauce, cheese, sour cream.
Wow, very specific.
Yeah.
Do you immediately judge a Mexican restaurant that you've never been to before on their quality of chips and salsa?
Yeah.
Like immediately. That's like, if it's no good.
I like a thin, crispy chip with a nice chipotle kind of salsa.
And if they make me pay for it, I'm walking out.
Agreed.
I love
Chips and salsa are complimentary.
Agreed.
You give me a chilled garden salsa, and I'm all about it. I love like a chilled, very vegetable heavy sort of garden salsa. The cilantro, maybe give me a little cilantro.
I hate cilantro.
Tastes like soap to you?
It tastes like death. I want to die every time I have it.
Where do you stand on onion?
Love.
You like onion?
Yeah.
Okay, well, some onions in there and tomatoes, all that. Anyway, Tyler, what's your go-to restaurant order at a Mexican place that you've never been to before?
Bean burrito.
Oh.
And then, maybe some rice on the side. And then on top of the bean burrito, I might go red sauce, depending on if I'm feeling confident in this place's sauce. Or I might just ask them to throw some queso over the top of it.
I hear you.
Guys, sounds good.
Guys, a good Mexican restaurant. Man, I love the chicken fingers. Okay, we go to this. They call them palitos some places.
We've discussed it before. EJ.
I love chicken fingers at the Mexican
It
restaurant.
throws me off every time, but okay.
They were at the Mexican, I ordered the chicken fingers. I was there alone. Okay, I ordered the chicken fingers. It wasn't off the kids menu. They have an adult chicken fingers. And they were making fun of me in the back. I could hear them in English, right?
Listen.
My thing is like, use Spanish and I won't know.
But I like the boldness.
But I could hear them saying things about my order, and they were great chicken fingers. So, chicken fingers at a Mexican restaurant, I'm telling you, low-key, very, very good. It's a little menu hack for everybody, if you're brave enough to do it. Next question. When was the last time, Tyler, you were on a slide of any sort? This could be a slide at a park. This could be a slip and slide. This could be a water slide at a water park. This can be, maybe you went on a high school reunion and you went out to the playground area, which I believe is not there at high school. Maybe it's a grade school reunion.
I'm trying to think. I guess the last time I would have been on any kind of slide would have been whatever the last time I went to Six Flags was. Maybe it would have been probably before COVID at this point.
Oh, wow.
Let me make sure I got this right. Six Flags has what kind of slides?
They have water slides at the water park section of
Got
the
it.
park. What I like to do at Six Flags is, when it starts getting real hot, you go over to that section of the park to cool off. They've got the big water fountains that just pour ice cold water on top of your head, and that's very nice. And they've got some slides and some rafts and stuff.
I have not been able to get out of my head Tyler standing in line at Six Flags and there being a couple in Cookie Monster outfits just
Going at it.
yeah, basically.
Awful.
I have not been able to stop thinking about that. I'll be at a red light and I'll just
pop in.
poor little Tyler, sitting there, and
Intrusive
then
thoughts.
what's going on with me? Want cookie, and just like gobble, 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 I don't think he ever says gobble. I think he says nom, 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 nom,
It's
nom.
either Cookie Monster or Slipknot. Both.
Or any Insane Clown Posse in there?
No, I saw more Slipknot
Okay.
stuff. I guess there's a weird amount of merch you see at Six Flags for this Viking metal band called Amon Amarth. That is probably as weird as it gets.
You need to stay out of Six Flags.
Yeah,
It's just,
Yeah.
it's warped you.
I
EG, when was the last time you were on a slide of any sort?
I feel like it's been more recent than this, but a couple of summers ago at my grandma's, they have a little water slide at the club.
Okay. That sounds nice.
Yeah,
Sounds refreshing.
sounds much nicer than a Six Flags water slide.
some would say.
We went down a water slide as a family with the three of us in one tube.
Yeah.
And they were having a hard time getting me up off the ground to
yeah.
be able to push me down the big slide. And I should have taken that as a warning. And then when
It was like,
it propelled us so
Yeah.
far, we almost
Tipped. I love that.
completely fell out.
I loved that feeling. I'd always do it with my
No.
brothers and their friends.
No, you would
too.
not like this. This was like life or death, it
Yeah,
felt like.
I love that.
Okay. You take things too extreme.
No,
And I'm worried about you. But I used to always have a fear as a kid that when I went down a slide, there would be someone stuck in the middle.
Oh, I've never had that fear.
Oh, I had a horrible fear of that. There'd be somebody stuck in the middle, and then I'd be stuck, and then people would come down on top of me, and I would just be like,
Like human sandwich.
yeah. And I would just have to decide how hard I started kicking the clogged person.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know.
hard. I mean, life or death. Psh.
Yeah. But anyway, I was always fearful of that because when I was a kid and I'd go down the slide, sometimes there'd be kids climbing up the slide.
Ooh, yeah, that's
And I've always thought, if we get stuck and nobody knows we're stuck in here, and then it's like 100 degrees in the slide too, it always freaked me out.
I knew a couple kids who ended up with some missing teeth and broken noses because
Yeah.
they decided to climb up the slide at the unfortunate moment when someone who was unaware that they were down there decides, I'm going to get a running start and just try and go down as fast as possible.
It's called chutes and ladders for a reason,
yeah.
not chutes and ladders combined. Okay, next thing. Here we go. That was the worst thing I've ever said. Number 3. What broadcast industry situation gives you anxiety, E.G.? Like a nightmare situation,
Oh gosh.
something broadcast. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this one time this
Yeah,
happened
no,
to me.
I would say I get the most anxious with not knowing something I'm supposed to know.
Getting quizzed on it live
Getting
on air.
quizzed on it live, and I have no idea what they're talking about. That one, any sort of wardrobe malfunctions, or being overheard on the mic, a hot mic, and something gets out.
Yeah, that can be rough. Those are scary. I'm getting anxious just thinking about
My
them.
heart is.
Tyler, you'll be showing off your bits of Ted tomorrow, so wardrobe malfunctions may end up occurring on the Fun Friday
It's
edition.
not a malfunction. It's planned.
Thank you.
Nice.
You will be wearing Cookie Monster regalia. My question to you is, what is a broadcast situation that kind of gives you some anxiety? Is there one?
Hot mic for sure. And then I guess just situations like today where OBS just crashes out of nowhere and I have no explanation or reason or solution to why our stream is in 2 parts today. But I just have to click start streaming again and then just hope that it fixes everything.
Hasn't
'Cause-
happened since the monkey left out of here. So
better.
I know. I'm
Crossed.
knocking. There we go.
I don't
Particle
play that
board.
around here.
Yep.
Just so people in the chat know.
That's why
I
you-
am super superstitious
Right.
here.
That is why your answer is legitimate here for the number 3 question. Go to this question number 4. E.G., what's your earliest sports memory?
Going to the Falcons game with my dad in my Falcons uniform, like cheer uniform, when I was probably 3.
Wow.
And pulling up to this brick townhouse in Atlanta to get the tickets.
Any idea who they were playing?
No. I don't remember the game at all.
So our chat started filling us in that it's official that Aaron Rodgers is now a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Really?
That's what our chat was saying.
Oh, wow.
I haven't confirmed it,
Interesting.
but what's your reaction to that news, being someone who follows the game of football so closely?
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Well, my reaction is I'm surprised I haven't got an ESPN alert about
He
that.
is reportedly agreeing to a 1-year deal in Pittsburgh, according to CBS Sports.
Anything more than that would be really surprising.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, I'm seeing it here. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, plans to sign and signing a 1-year deal.
How do
The
you
two
think?
headlines I got?
How do you think that interview would go if you sat down one-on-one for an extended interview with Aaron Rodgers?
Unique.
You think so?
Yes, very unique. Would not just stick to football.
There's definitely some life things you have to throw in there. He's the type of person that definitely transcends football headlines.
For sure.
And you'd have to figure out which direction you wanted to go with that full interview. But I feel like it would take, if it was an extended sit down, it would take a lot of prep to get it right.
Yeah, agreed.
Tyler, what's your earliest sports memory?
I saw the Alabama versus Southern Miss game in 2004. This is the one where Daniel Moore Art drew the catch completed by Tyrone Prothro, where he catches it over the guy's shoulder.
Against Southern Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sprinklers came on in the middle of the game.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, that was a heck of a catch. I remember watching that, and a lot of people didn't think he had
Yeah.
made the catch to begin with.
Yeah. I remember everyone near me was just standing there like, did he just do that? Can you do that? How'd that work?
It was an insane catch for sure. Okay, we go to this. Tyler, you're in the grocery store, supermarket, big box store, whatever. Walking down the cookie aisle.
Uh-huh.
All of these are prepackaged.
Yeah.
What's your go-to packaged cookie?
I typically try to stay away from the cookies these days, but
Oh.
Is that because of Cookie Monster and how it affected
Or
you
the,
at Six
No,
the
Flags?
no.
fortune cookie.
that fortune cookie didn't help either.
Oh.
I was always a big Nutter Butter fan.
You know, I've realized that there's too much shared trauma in this room. Like, one day we won't be here. Like,
Yeah.
we'll all be dispersed going on about our lives. One day, we may be 60, I don't know, but one day we will not be here, and that will be sad. We'll miss you all, but we will always have the shared trauma.
We will. We will.
And part of it is the fortune cookie going after Tyler and us no longer being able to have what is maybe EG's favorite segment of all time, which is Fine Tune Fortunes. So we'll work on that.
Maybe we should start ordering Chinese.
We should just order a box of fortune
I
cookies.
told you
and we'll
guys
be
to
fine.
do that. To just y'all.
sorry.
I'm not stopping
Sorry,
you guys
sorry.
from eating Chinese for
Nutter
lunch.
butters are your go-to. That's good. I like nutter butters. I'll go ahead and answer mine.
Yeah.
Can I do cookie dough or no?
No. That's that's such an EG thing. Hey, we're going to, you know what we would have done? We're going to have a cookie draft up on the big board. And you know what? EG gets the number one pick. What do you want? I want cookie dough. EG, I'm going to have to turn that down. Why? You said cookies. This is a cookie draft. How do you make cookies? Well, with cookie dough. Well, is that not right? My lawyer's going to be on the phone and he wants to talk to you.
Okay, sorry.
No, you can't go cookie dough.
The Keebler like shortbread in the yellow packaging.
Now we're talking.
delish.
You knew that was the acceptable answer.
But I like cookie dough better. I get the cookie dough Pillsbury, the themed one, sugar cookies that have different prints on them. Love.
Yeah, no, these are the prepackaged ones that you don't have to bake that are like always lukewarm when you eat them.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for with what you can
Love
choose.
shortbread.
I'm an Oreo fanatic. I love Oreo. I'm sorry. I know a lot of
I
people.
don't love chocolate.
Oreo's not the in thing sometimes. I don't care. I love Oreos. I think they're great. I've never been a huge Chips Ahoy fan.
I haven't either. Blech.
My wife brought home some Chips Ahoy, and I was like, why did you get Chips Ahoy? Of anything, like, I ate a couple, and I'm like, these are really good.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe
I like the crunchy Chips Ahoy in the blue packaging. Don't bring home that red packaging chewy nonsense.
No. But
that's disgusting.
even the regular ones, they crumble way too easy.
Oh, yeah, I
I
agree.
don't like
So-
it. Tastes like chemicals to me.
Oh, well. I'll tell you, maybe you need to circle back
What do you think's
around.
in there?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe circle back around because I was a doubter and then I kind of enjoyed them. So anyway, there you go. Next. E.G., what were you most scared of when you were a kid?
God, the dark. Still am.
The dark.
Yeah.
Nightlight situation?
Oh, yeah. Basically all my lights on.
Okay.
And
All your
94.9,
lights on.
The bowl cranked up. Because I had to have music, too, or something playing.
Okay. It's starting to make a lot more sense why you don't want to sit in a dark theater and watch scary movies.
Yeah.
That kind of makes a lot more sense the more I learn. So the dark. Okay. Tyler, what is the thing you were most scared of as a kid?
Oh, and dog nappers.
Dog
Dog
nappers?
nappers. That was a really big fear of mine. Sorry, Tyler, not to cut you off.
Were you a celebrity that like? No, I'm not. Look, we've talked about John Wick today, so I'm not about to get on here and have any sort of dog slander. But dog nappers, not kidnappers, dog nappers.
Well, I was scared of being kidnapped too, but I was really scared of my dog getting napped.
Wow. I don't know if napped is really the word. Anyway, we're just gonna take it.
Tyler.
I will say we've talked about our processes on the air before, so I don't feel like this is a stretch to go down this road again. You've been very open about this.
That flash IV flashing through you.
I need to end this stream soon. Is all I'm saying.
That's okay.
Okay, there's a different type of stream that's about to be happening.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've got a 7.5 hour drive after this. I'm okay.
I don't know. I mean, this thing is.
I mean, you choke. You get through that stuff. It looks like that's not your favorite flavor.
I'm not gonna mind when we say our goodbyes.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, we'll do
Okay.
speed round to end this.
Well, we've been on this question for a couple minutes with Tyler, which is, what were you most scared of when you were a kid?
Well, maybe if I'd quit being interrupted.
Okay. Sorry. Noted.
Completely fair. Think about it.
I would say now it's raccoons, but
Not.
as a kid, I
That was
was.
called a time continuation.
Okay.
That was a technique.
It's called a
right.
filibuster, EG.
Get it out.
I need to pee.
I've got a
Oh,
Taziki's
gee,
order.
let me think about this for a minute.
I got a Taziki's curbside order that I'm getting before I got to cruise on. so,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Over. Beep, beep, beep.
I'm gonna go with Jigsaw from the Saw movie
yeah.
because I've told that story. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a legitimate fear of mine, was being kidnapped and put in like some room. Like, remember in the first movie where that dude has to go all around the room to like get the combination to a safe that's in the middle of the room because he's got like poison running through him or something?
Sure.
I was scared of ISIS too.
And then there was another one where the guy had to crawl through a barbed wire maze to get out of the trap.
Yeah, that one feels impossible, by the
Yeah.
way. That one
Yeah.
felt like the one that was the most. Come on, there's no real way out of that.
Well, no, I would argue the one that feels the most unfair was when what's-her-name took over for Jigsaw and that cop got kidnapped and it was like the butterfly trap or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I think that was like intentionally the
Okay.
whole point was the game started being made to where they couldn't be won,
Yes.
and this was. The one
Yeah.
that through the barbed wire was the one before that, and I'm like, that just feels impossible. You just anyway.
And then
we
there
don't.
was Saw 2, the pit of needles. That was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, EG doesn't want to talk about the Saw franchise. You still need to see Saw X, which is one of the best Saw movies ever made. You still need to see it.
I'll work my way back through that franchise.
Well, so Jigsaw was your answer there for number 6. Number 7, EG, have you ever participated in a parade?
yeah.
I tried to sound like Jiminy Glick there. I don't know why. Have you ever participated in a parade?
Yeah. Y'all are gonna.
Nobody
judge
knows
me,
who
though.
Jiminy Glick is, but anyway. You have.
Yeah.
Like where you're on the back of a car waving?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I knew. You didn't want to admit it,
didn't
but I
wanna-
could see it in your eyes. Multiple times? Multiple years?
Yes,
Yeah,
Tim.
I know the answers. Okay. I've never been in the car spot. I've had to do the walking, right?
Oh.
Where it's like, Hey, everybody, I didn't know they made people that big. I'm like, oh. Anyway. Tyler, have you ever participated in a parade?
No. I did not want to participate in a parade.
If there was a TNR parade, would you be willing to participate?
I'd drive the float maybe.
Okay. All right. I think you're qualified for that. Make that happen.
Like as far as the waving and throwing candy out to people, no thank you. I don't want any part in that.
Out of the 3 TNR guys, who do you think would be the best as like the grand marshal of a parade? The one that's like
Brown.
the big featured
Brown. You
sort of
eat
like
that
make
up.
everybody feel special
Eat
guy.
that up.
I think it's Jim. I think Jim's the answer.
Jim would be like, I don't want to, like,
See, he would, but he would still do it and
Yeah.
still crush it.
He would
He would
love
crush
it.
it.
He would love it, but he can openly love it.
He would
Yes.
privately,
Yeah.
right,
That's a great description.
Yeah.
privately he
Privately
would
would be
be
sus.
like, oh my gosh.
He'd be like,
the
I
greatest
killed
thing
that. That was the best parade
Yeah.
this town's ever seen.
Okay. Next question. Number 8.
Come
Are we
on.
ever going to
Bring
get
her
through?
home. Bring
I'm
her home.
trying so hard to get through this. Ooh. Number 8. Roughly, Tyler, how long would it take you to run a mile currently at this stage in life? Be honest.
So, like, when I was playing soccer, I had it down to, like, 6.5 minute mile.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I used to be able to run. I used to be in shape, believe it or not. Nowadays,
Right. In your broken 20s?
I'd say I'd be lucky to crack 15.
15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd be lucky to crack 15.
Okay. 15 minutes is,
I don't do much running these days.
15 minutes. E.g., I know you're under that.
Yeah, well, and this is kind of unfair because I have been running again recently.
Oh
on a
my
treadmill.
gosh.
I
You
know.
cut out sugar and you
I-
only, you know.
And,
That's not
keto and
true.
organic
No,
diet.
no, keto.
I'm not sure I even want to open up another fortune cookie with you.
Oh my gosh, you guys are freaks. Mine was the last mile I ran was
You timed it too?
because on the treadmill.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And my speed was such. Golly.
Sorry. Give me your time.
Give you the answer. It was 9:02.
902?
Yeah,
Wow. What if it was 90210?
that'd be cool.
That would be.
I want to obviously break 9, but back in the day, like Tyler, I could run a little bit.
I would think that I would be, if I was to run a mile, if I really got in stride where I was like,
Yeah, just lengthen your stride. Yeah,
but the problem is I do that for like, I don't know, 30 seconds and want to die.
yeah,
So I could make up a lot of ground in a short amount of time.
yeah.
But I think I would be at like the 17-minute mark probably.
It's okay.
17 and a half.
I've got a sprint against my cousin on the beach annual race, McWhorter Grand Prix next week, so I kind of been training for that. I'll let you guys know what happens.
Please do. Please update us on that. Next. What percentage of the time, e.g., do you wear sunglasses while driving?
Every time, 100%.
How did you answer that before I got done with the...
I just knew.
You knew I was going to say while driving?
Just in general, yeah.
You 100% of the time,
Always.
whether it's raining, whether it's
Yeah.
dark outside,
Well, not
whether
dark,
it... No,
okay.
I'm just
99.9, Tim.
That's also my answer, 99.9.
Always
I
rain.
don't feel like I can drive without sunglasses.
Agreed. Even if it's like a cloudy day,
Correct.
put them on.
I have polarized glasses,
Yeah, same.
which allows me during rainstorms to see way more clearly.
Agreed.
So we are 99.9 percenters.
we're
I don't do it at night, though.
No, me either.
Some people, they wear their sunglasses at night. Cause can't I don't know the rest of the
Sorry.
words.
I don't know either.
Tyler, how often, what percentage of the time do you wear sunglasses while driving? 0?
Never wear them.
Oh, what? What
How?
are those peepers?
How?
What do you mean, how?
Do your retinas
squint?
not burn?
Do you squint?
I mean, I got like the little visor thing
no,
to try and block it out. And then sometimes, sun still gets through a little bit.
I occasionally will be driving my tiny truck, and
All right, the way you described that was funny.
Big guy in a
A
little
tiny
truck.
that is correct. Guy at the gas station. I don't want to live in a country where a man's bigger than his truck. It's like,
It's like a little tuk-tuk.
all right, enjoy your 12-pack, buddy. Anyway, I can't put the visor down because it blocks my whole head from being able to see outside the window.
I'm surprised you don't have to stick your head through the roof like Dino from the Flintstones.
Occasionally I'll do an Ace Ventura when my window is iced up.
Catch a bullet between your teeth.
Yeah. I would like to see a John Wick Ace Ventura crossover. I feel like that's perfect, right?
That would like weirdly work. Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, because Ace Ventura, if you go back and watch that first movie, it's like actually kind of dark. There's a legitimate like murder investigation going on, and then you've got this wacky dude in a Hawaiian shirt who just strolls up in the most just strangest of ways looking for a dolphin.
I think once John Wick really loses all ideas, a John Wick Ace Ventura crossover would print money. I do think that. Last question.
Woo!
I agree. That's why we call it 10 with Tim and not 11 with Tim.
Yeah.
Tyler, would you say during your life you've logged more time in a mall or in a library during your lifetime? In a mall or in a library? Which one would you say you've spent more time inside in your life? Because don't you agree when you go to the mall, you spend a lot of time there?
Yeah.
Right? No?
I don't go very often.
Right.
And I don't really spend much time there at all. I do most of my shopping online.
Currently. But like back in the day, 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I was 15, 16 years old, and, you know, online shopping was still very much a thing.
Yeah.
Nike ID, making your own stuff.
What about 15 years ago? I mean, like when you're 10, you didn't get drugged to the mall all the time?
Not all the time, no. No. I was in the library a lot, the school library. I would check out multiple books at a time.
Nice. Now you don't read much at all.
Now I don't read.
You don't run miles anymore. You don't read. What are you doing with your life, Tyler? Get out of here.
Exactly.
Go enjoy freedom.
Exactly. I don't do anything unless unless it is specifically for TNR.
There we go. That's why you should be the Grand Marshal of the TNR parade. EG,
Yeah.
I desperately need to go to the bathroom. So my question to you is,
Quick.
would you say you've spent more time in a mall or in a library during your lifetime?
If we're counting outdoor malls. But I have spent a lot of time in the library. So if we're not counting that, then the library.
Oh, you bring up a good point. We have an outdoor strip mall near here that also houses the local AMC.
Well, I mean, I don't count that.
You
That's
don't
not
count
a mall.
that?
No,
Okay.
that's not a
All
mall
right,
movie
all right.
theater.
I did not go to the library in college. I mean,
didn't go.
See, I don't
college at
count
all.
the Summit as a mall.
Okay, then the
I don't count the
library.
Summit as a mall.
Because our mall, it's called Town Center Mall, and it was pretty ratchet even back then.
Gotcha.
A little scary, too close to 75 to get snatched.
I've got a trip over to your home state of Georgia coming up
Oh
soon.
my gosh, tell me more.
I'm going to off air. I've got some questions for you about kind of,
Safety.
yeah.
Okay. I have to drive through my
Little bit all
home city in about 2 hours. It should take me, and not looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to getting you back. EG, you'll be
Yeah.
out there on the assignment of R&R over the
So
next
excited.
week and a day. So if you guys are EG fans and you're only here for EG, we'll see you again in a week and a day.
Yeah.
But we hope you sample us until then. We appreciate the chat very much. Being here with us. Brandon was in the chat today saying cookie dough is absolutely amazing.
Amen, Brandon.
Let's see here. We have Jay Bake saying, have y'all tried the Haynesville Little Debbie ice cream?
No.
Nope.
I have not. I saw it a year ago, and I did not try it, but it does intrigue me. I just bought some cookie cake ice cream, and it's not good. And I love everything cookie, and I don't think it's very good.
I like sugar cookie cakes.
Yeah, there we go.
Sounds good. A great American cookie.
That's where we're gonna go. I bet on the cookie cake ice cream, and it didn't work out for me. But you can bet at mybookie.ag. Use promo code next round for that first time deposit bonus. We appreciate you very much being a proud Meltdownian. EG, be safe. I'm going to see Ballerina tonight. We'll have our full non-spoiler review tomorrow as we discuss it here in the studio. See you guys next time, and appreciate your patience with the multiple streams, and we'll try to make sure that Mungie is taken care of. Bye-bye.